Hello and welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. Natasha,
Yes?
I'm feeling a bit compromised.
Why?
Because I got a haircut today, and it's like a classic cut, and I realized that the model that I was looking at who got this cut was covered in tattoos.
On his face.
Yeah, and so it looked all edgy on him because it was like, you know.
He had like a spider web tattooed on his like part.
But because of my religion, because of the God of the Hebrews, because of Jehovah, I don't have no tattoos on my face. And so I feel as though I look a bit square. I like a more of a bohemian look to me. Like you, for example. You look like you just crawled out from an encampment.
What happened to me was...
Honey, I want you to acknowledge the joke.
I don't want to laugh at my expense.
What about the expense of the unhoused?
Well, I thought I looked a little cooler than that.
You do look cool, honey. You look
but
eccentric.
This outfit...
That's the opposite of how I look.
I'm not trying to look eccentric. You taught our child to not, if it's yellow, let it mellow.
Yeah.
So
if it's brown, flush it down.
She's been peeing all the time, and so she'll pee like 9 times. I am going somewhere with this story. Mm-hmm. She'll pee like 9, 10 times. Use tons of toilet paper. I keep trying to tell her use less, and then she'll finally flush it. Well, she flushed it. The toilet overflowed. Mm-hmm. I said goodbye to our guests, went upstairs, tucked my daughter in for a nap, came back down, made myself something to eat, came back downstairs, and I hear this gushing sound. The shit water is just like all over the house.
Did you get poo on you?
No, but it was like toilet water.
Yeah.
So it all backed up. So I've been like cleaning up water, sopping up water, and then I finally went upstairs to take a shower. And as I put all the soap in my hair, and then all of a sudden I was rinsing out the soap and the water didn't come out because you turned off the water for the whole house.
Because it started to overflow again. But I hear you know who suffered as greatly as you?
Who?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Well, I'm just saying now we have to do our podcast now because we have callers waiting. So I wasn't able to rinse my hair. I have soap in my hair.
To be honest,
this was the best I could do, Moshe.
To be honest, you look wonderful. You look as though you've spent the day watching the soaps and eating bonbons. A la Peggy Bundy.
Well, I'm comfortable.
And I look, because of this haircut, I look like I have a briefcase and work at a data processing center.
I'm sorry, honey, but you don't. You look cool. You kind of look like a cholo.
I like the sound of that. I wish that were true. I feel more like I look like a data analyst.
Well, you don't.
I want to be bohemian. Good. I want to be cool. I want to be young.
Well, people who look bohemian aren't trying, usually.
I want to be... Well, I don't have that option, okay? I got to work hard for every ounce of physical beauty that I have.
Maybe you should stop listening to techno.
Do you think that's not cool?
Yes.
That's the coolest thing anyone's ever done.
No, honey, it's not.
It is. I'm sorry I'm not upstairs listening to shoegazing indie rock from the 90s and bemoaning the fact that digital media has taken over the print newspaper. Looking at a Nirvana, a Nirvana album cover and wondering what happened to music.
No, I'm a huge Olivia Rodrigo fan. Hey, speaking of music, we went and saw Bob Dylan.
Oh, Mr. Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I gotta say.
And you hated it.
Well, you once again, we got to the end before we got through the beginning. What I will say is that all of my life, I have been prepared for. People have been preparing me for how bad Bob Dylan is in concert. Mm-hmm. I was prepared, and yet I was not prepared. It was. I would describe it in 2 words. Fucking sucks. That was how that concert was. It was fucking sucks.
Well, first of all, I will say I saw him 20 years ago and he was terrible. So I knew he'd be bad now.
He's famously mercurial on stage, often difficult to access, and will not play the tunes that you like in the tune that you like. So you'll be trying to sing along, but he'll have rearranged it. This was worse than that.
This was only his new album.
Only his new album. You know, when you go see Bob Dylan, what do you not want to hear? The hits. That's right. You want to only hear the new tracks from the last 30 years of unlistenable swill he's put out. Now, he also was you couldn't see him physically.
He was behind a piano.
And the lighting scheme on stage, I would say, was reminiscent of comfort level for a vampire. You couldn't...
I'm sure that was intentional.
He was in the dark, and then every 5th song, he would emerge from his crypt, stand up, and you would think to yourself, oh, okay, the concert's now going to start. Now I will actually see Bob Dylan, the man that I came to see. No, he would shimmy,
Kind of waddle.
He would waddle over, sway his hips back and forth in an adult diaper. And
wait, you're not making it very clear. He's behind a big old piano the entire time.
Right.
And then like I would say 3 times in the hour long show, he kind of waddled out, like shuffled by the like side to side, came out, did like a little bow, and then it looked like he had diapers on. Like there was something white. I think it was like a cummerbund, but it looked like diapers. And then he kind of shuffled back behind his thing, and then tell him how he would do the hits.
Oh, he did. He didn't do the hits. He did one. At one point in the entire evening, he did say the words, "I'll be your baby tonight," and went back to behind the piano.
I'll be your baby tonight.
No, that's too similar to the actual song.
No, but he would do
I'll
it like...
be your baby tonight.
But he's not doing the song. He's doing it during a song about like Key West.
Yeah, he sang a 15-minute dirge about Key West. And then he said, "I'll be your baby tonight," and then waddled back behind the piano. Now, the other funny thing... I shouldn't go see Bob Dylan and leave the concert in a less of a fan of his entire canon of work than when I arrived. That's what I think. But here, the funniest part, we've left out the funniest part.
The girl dancing?
Yes. In front of us, the entire concert long was one of those like, I don't know if these people wait for a concert, if they're always like this, if they're hired out to like from Hippies Are Us, but it was this, it was this classic hippie woman,
right,
in like a halter top, a way too sexy outfit, and she is dancing as though she's at Altamont. Like,
but only her,
only
one, and his music is such a downer.
His music is not engendering the kind of gyrated movement that she is producing. She's dancing as though this is Woodstock. But he's giving you like moody blues that if you walked into a dive bar in Reno and you heard it, you'd be like, yikes, this is a little sleepy. And she's like moving her hips.
Fast, too.
Pointing at Bob Dylan, rubbing her bodice, looking back at the crowd as if to say, like, why aren't you moving like me? It was quite an experience.
Yeah, it was confusing because there was another guy there who was doing the same kind of dancing, but she was like early 40s.
She was like, and it was sexual.
But he was like 65, like with like a Grateful Dead shirt on, doing the same kind of dancing in the front row.
It's a classic move. I would say he wasn't doing the same dance. He was doing
a version of that, though.
He was doing the male version. There's
like hacky sack.
There's a male hippie dance and a female hippie dance.
I hate it.
Who likes it? Although, honestly, she was giving more of a show than Bob Dylan himself.
I know. That's why I was like, did he hire her?
Yeah, she was quite a trip. And that was what
Didn't
happened.
stop dancing. From the pre-show
no, and
to the grand finale, which there wasn't one, really.
Pointing at Bob, pointing at old Bob, pointing back to herself as if she was saying, "I'll be your baby tonight."
And women were getting mad because she was we were kind of in the balcony front row, and people would have to walk by her to get to their seats, and she was using the whole balcony to dance.
And she would kind of give them a dirty look if they were like trying to use the walkway as a walkway and not as a like chamber for shamanic dance ritual. Speaking of hippies, we have an email that was sent in to us.
Okay.
I thought it would be a nice way to kick off this episode. This is the subject is coming out as a nudist. Speaking of hippies. Hello, Moshe and Natasha. I have a dilemma that I hope you can enjoy and help with. Quick details. I'm female in my mid-20s, a mostly likable weirdo and an aspiring visual artist. Here we go. I am in a long-term relationship that just ended before the start of the pandemic. The breakup left me wanting to be more outgoing and try new things. I was pretty much limited to experiences I could have in my apartment. This led to my roommate and I experimenting with social and recreational nudity at home, and I totally loved the freedom. Let's stop there. What is the difference between social and recreational nudism?
Well, remember we've gone to hot springs before.
Yeah.
That would be recreational nudism.
Nudity. And what is social nudity? When you're
I guess like if me and my girlfriend were hanging around with our tits flopping around.
With your
I guess.
With your folds unfolded.
Or if me and a guy friend. But not you, or would it be you?
It could be me, honey. Yeah, it could be me. Okay. It started with us.
I'm like like me and the hot guy who cleans our pool, or like me and
You're fucking the pool boy? Is that true? That's like a hacky premise.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. It started with us just hanging around the apartment naked, but as things started to open up, we took a trip to the closest naturist club / resort. Okay, you were right. Social, recreational is when you're out and about.
Are these 2 women, 2 men?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
And discovered the community was really great. Since then, we have made several weekend trips to that club and have sort of become real nudists. I know it sounds really strange at first, but truly, in the warmer months, spending time outdoors totally naked is the most amazing feeling in the world. There's something really enjoyable about the social dynamics of it as well. I mean, I guess what is enjoyable about the social dynamics of it? I wish we knew.
Probably one of these people wants to show off their big dick. That's the one thing I realized from like being at these hot springs. The people who are like really pumped to get naked usually have big old dongs.
Maybe they really, literally were really pumped, and they beforehand in the locker room they pumped a little bit.
Possibly.
Anyway, my dilemma is that I've started dating again through apps, and obviously my naked adventures are not something that I lead with. I don't want to invite creepy attention, but now I've been dating a guy I really like for 2 months, and I'm terrified that he will think I'm a freak if I tell him about it. It's got me rethinking everything. On one hand, I wonder if it's time to just write off my nudism as a phase and go back to real life. After all, I wasn't raised with it, and it's not like I commit to it the way others in the community do. But on the other hand, I sincerely love doing stuff naked, and so maybe I need to start embracing it as a real part of my identity. What do you think I should do with this guy and my life? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for your wonderful show. What do you think? She's got this guy. She hasn't come out of the closet.
Boy.
She hasn't come out of the closet as no longer needing a closet. What should this person do? Oh, yeah, it could be a guy. You're right.
Well, I just think that, yes, I think it's going to be hard to find someone who's really open to that, although you would be. That's why it's nice to, like, if you really want to get deeper into it, it's nice to maybe date within the community of the nudism. But
I bet it's a pretty small pool.
And a really annoying pool.
And a really HPV-laden pool.
Yeah, but I would like a little more information on what they like to do naked, because it might just be like they just like to go to hot springs naked, but they feel like they're, because maybe they grew up like me, kind of repressed Midwest. So then now just to do that seems really crazy. I don't know. Or is he like trying to get a haircut naked, or what's happening?
That's a great question. Definitely the one I would have asked. Are you trying to get a haircut naked? My instinct is
eat naked.
It's not that crazy of a thing to be into, to hang out naked. It doesn't seem that insane to me. It's not quite. It's not like you're a diaper. You know, those diaper people.
Yeah.
Who they're like, I'll be your baby tonight, literally. Mm-hmm. You know, and they shit in their diaper and stuff, and they're like, queen me or whatever. Now, if you're a queen me type of person, that is gonna be maybe
queen me, like clean me.
Yeah, but they pronounce it like a baby.
Oh my god.
Queen me, I want milk. That kind of person. That's gonna be a date only in the community type of thing, because that's a really, really stiff learning curve for you to just be open-minded about. But I like to go to hot springs and let my vagina hang out in the hot sun. I feel like a guy can either be into it and do it with you, or be like, well, do that on your own time.
It definitely feels good. Like, we went to that hot spring and I felt like guys were like looking at me, and like I didn't quite like being naked. But then when I put on my swimsuit, moving from pool to pool, it was like cold and clammy, and it was so much more comfortable to be naked. So I get that. At the same time, also, I want to say we had a family friend growing up, and when you went to his house, he had like 5 kids. We knew this guy who was friends with my mom, and he apparently
say his first and last name. Don't do it.
He apparently laid around their house naked when my brothers would go hang out over there. And they said it was like really uncomfortable, and he like would be watching TV like with his legs spread and like a big old dong.
Oh, he had a big dick?
Yeah. And like I just didn't like the whole vibe of that. And I would be very uncomfortable if my daughter went, I never saw it, but if my daughter went to someone's house and the dad was just naked.
Dick. With a big dick, or
with a big dick.
What if it was small?
No, any size.
Any dick at all.
Laying there, like, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like we all got to be on board.
I think that is taking it too far. If you're doing it all the time when there's company over, you've taken nudity to a too far of a level.
Even around your kids, though, is that appropriate?
For me to be naked around my child?
Like to be spread with your legs open, watching TV with your dick just hanging out when your kid's like 7? I think that's weird.
Well, doesn't sound like nudism. That sounds like something else. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
But I think you can go to a resort, right? This person's
person.
This person's in her mid-20s. She's not worried about whether kids, family, friends, children are coming over.
And I also think that it's not weird enough that you can't tell your partner, like, hey, during the pandemic, like people kind of got into stuff.
You know how people started baking bread?
Yeah.
I started baking my asshole in the hot sun.
But, if and then you can kind of test them when you tell them. Because if they're like, oh, weird, ew, that's crazy.
Then you say, just kidding, I never would do that. I don't do that. That's freak shit.
But, you could say like, it was kind of fun. I really liked, I don't know, you could like maybe pitch a hot spring or something.
And here's the other thing I would recommend to this person that wrote in. If you could, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, send us a quick pic of you naked, and we would be able to tell you if the lifestyle is for you, is all I guess is what I'm saying. No? Okay, maybe that's, I guess we have a different style of approaching advice. This is what I think.
I wouldn't lead with it.
I wouldn't lead with it, but I also wouldn't keep it a secret, like it's a shameful secret, because it's not that big of a deal. And if you're a person that I'm going to hazard a guess. If you're a person that's into the nudist community and you're dating someone and you say, I like to go sunbathe naked, and they freak out, you're probably not meant to be with a person like that.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you kind of want to be...
You a freak, girl.
Open or boy.
I think it's a girl.
Okay.
I get the vibe that it's a girl. But let your freak flag fly. Get out there. And here's the thing. This year at Burning Man, I'm going to be camped at 545 and D. And I gotta just come on by.
But you're giving people your address at Burning Man?
Sure, why not? Come on by. If you're a nudist, I'll check out your body. And I'll send, we'll record the whole incident. So I'll send it to Natasha to make sure I didn't do anything untoward. And we'll just hang out naked. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, that is the weird thing. Like, I've seen Moshe's brother naked, I think. Like, you guys took me to a hot tub early in our relationship that was in Berkeley. That was like some weird, like everyone was naked. And then like your brother was just naked. And I was like, I don't even know these people.
I mean, the thing is,
but it wasn't that big of a deal. And then we were all naked again.
We're hippies.
When we did the Dr. Bronner's thing at Burning Man, everyone was naked, pressed up against each other.
Yeah.
It was a lot for me. I can't say I want to do it a lot, but like I'm glad.
It's freeing in a way, right?
It feels good.
Yeah, you know what? Well, I grew up hard hippie, and that's just the way it is.
Oh, another thing is to figure out what part of it you like, because if you just like the way it feels on your body, you guys could like get a hotel or, make sure there's privacy and you could have your own kind of like experience or do it in the home together. Like I have friends who like are naked around each other. We don't really do that, but like who don't wear bras and underwear around each other and like just have their tits hanging out.
I think what people like about the like
or do they want to show off?
No, it's not even that. I think people like the freedom of not having to deal with the trappings of covering up. They want to be out there. They want to just do their thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I will say, having been to Burning Man 20 times.
Is that how many times?
Yeah. There's a lot of nudity there. And when you first arrive, because you're conditioned to be like, Mamma Mia, you will like be looking around and going like, wow, naked people. By a day or two in, you're not noticing them. I'm not noticing them. You're not leering at them. You're not looking at it sexual. It doesn't feel that sexual, If a person who you think is hot walks by, will you steal a glance? Yeah. But are you going to leer like a creep? I'm certainly not, because it doesn't feel that sexual. Part of that is that I grew up going to hot tubs and stuff with my mom and her weird naked friends, and it actually I hated it. But now that I'm older, I'm grateful for it because I don't want to feel repressed in that way. Again, I could see going further than that and being like, I want to just be able to be naked when I want.
Definitely feels nice with the sun.
It does, and it's got health benefits too.
Being naked?
Yeah, right? Didn't they say that bleaching your ass in the midday sun will?
Yeah, but who's gonna like open up their legs to the sun?
I'll tell you who.
You?
Me. This year, Burning Man, 545 and D.
Oh my
I'll be
God.
your
Is
baby
that really
tonight.
your address?
Who knows? Who knows anything? All right. Well, shall we take a call,
Let's
Natasha?
do it.
Yeah, let's take a call. Hey, Tosh.
Hey, Moshe.
Hey, I was thinking you might need a doctor's appointment soon to take care of your little issue.
What's my issue?
Your personality disorder.
Oh my God.
Yeah, your bad personality. I'm kidding, honey. Your personality's perfect. But we all have health issues that we sometimes deal with. And the most annoying part of getting sick, beyond the fact that your body collapses, is that you have to make a doctor's appointment. And it's so difficult to find a doctor that can see you now and to know that they're good when you go to see them.
I love ZocDoc. All you have to do is log on. You put in your zip code. They give you the reviews. You get to see the doctor. You can schedule an online appointment. You can schedule an in-person appointment. It's awesome.
ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
Go to ZocDoc.com/honeymoon and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. You can read the reviews.
Oh.
Many are available within 24 hours.
Yeah, and specialists, you can find them. If you need a dermatologist, if you need to fix an achy back, if you need to straighten your teeth, ZocDoc has you covered. All of the doctors are reviewed. You can look them up. You can find the one that you're most comfortable with that's the closest to you. Just do it. I love this service. I use this service. It's ZocDoc.com/honeymoon.
ZocDoc.com/honeymoon.
Okay, we're going to call Hannah in Madison, Wisconsin. It's home of the I want to come in your mouth guy. Maybe she knows him.
They should put that on the license plates there. Hey, Hannah, how's it going?
Hannah.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're good. We're wondering, do you know a guy who's obsessed with girls taking loads in their mouth that lives in Madison?
I knew that was going to come up. I asked Laura if she could blur my face like him.
Well, originally he didn't want his face blurred, but then he realized that he worked in a sensitive environment where there are children about, and I think it was a really good call of his to blur his face, actually. But you've got a great face, and you're probably not going to talk about something so vulgar.
Probably not. No, mine is more like a whiny, emotional story.
Let's do it.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah. So the one sentence thing that I'm having is my boyfriend and I guess my ex-boyfriend of 3 years recently broke up, and he has a suitcase of my stuff that I haven't been able to get back.
You need it? How bad do you need this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it's I know, that's everyone's first question. And I have a few sentimental things in it.
You need it back. That's fine.
No, hold on. Let's get to the bottom of this. It was sentimental how? What are they?
Were two, okay, so the suitcase is actually in another country right now because that's where my boyfriend and I met and that's where the stuff ended up. And so it's gifts from my parents that they had given me when I moved.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just got a really bad feeling. I don't think you're ever going to see this stuff again.
I know.
What country is it?
I don't want to say. It's Western Europe.
Western Europe. Okay, Western. Yeah. Western Europe.
Poland?
It's in Poland. That's Eastern Europe. That's pretty pretty squarely Eastern Europe.
It's in a democracy.
Sorry, I was in performance art school, so when they were explaining history and geography to us, I was dancing in the hallway. So there's big gaps in my. Okay, but I know now that that's Eastern Europe.
So it's in a Western democracy. We're not going to try to guess the country.
Okay.
But why is it there?
Yeah, so more context. So we met when we were in graduate school overseas, also in Europe. And
why are you putting quotation marks around Europe?
Well, it's because it's a different country, but I don't want to get into
I got it.
Yeah, it's just confusing.
I thought maybe you were saying it's not really Europe. In fact, it's in fact some, or you don't believe in the idea of Europe. You're a hardcore Brexit person.
Oh, yeah. No, I just want to say no on the record.
Okay, great. Okay. So,
who broke up with who?
It was pretty mutual. And I can kind of explain from context. So basically we met overseas, we lived together over there, and then eventually I came back to the US to work and he stayed over there. And our plan was we would eventually move to the same place and be together again. Cue COVID, pandemic, etc. We both get very entrenched in our own lives, in our own countries, and just kind of decided a couple months ago that we just don't see a way where we're going to live together and be in a relationship anytime soon.
Got it. So
that's why we broke up.
During the pandemic, you got really entrenched in the United States of America during our greatest hours, during what I would say is the greatest time to be an American.
I know.
Now, let me ask you, Hannah, when you two broke up, would you say it became kind of a wall between the two of you? A wall that kind of separated the two of you? And
he's making a German joke.
I'm just trying to figure out where we're talking about. Okay, great. Wait, why is your suitcase there? I don't understand. Why didn't you bring your fucking suitcase with you? Were you running through an embassy?
Just because, we had lived together for like 2 years, and so I had just acquired a lot of stuff. And when I moved back to the US, I was like, well, I might be like moving back here, so I don't need to like lug everything home. Like I'll just leave it, get it later.
Okay, wait, hold on. All right. So the times that you have tried to tell him you need this suitcase, what have you been met with?
So like he never says no. He says like, I don't have time to figure that out right now, or you'll get your stuff, but I don't know when. And so it's
well,
never
first of all,
no.
good thing you guys broke up because that's annoying. Second of all, was there any other third party that you were friends with? Hopefully like another
consulate,
girl who like
a frau, perhaps?
No, like some
mammal, some kind of mammal, some kind of frau,
some friend who you could maybe pay like $50
I like this.
where you could be like, hey, I'm gonna ask him to like pack it all up. Can you meet him? Like, and then you have to. It's gonna be annoying. You have to find a date that's mutually good for him. Maybe like in the weekend day or something. What? You're shaking your head. What? You tried this?
Because I have one more wrinkle to this, which is that it's in his parents' basement, and yeah, so that's kind of the other problem.
So they can't just go to his house. They have to like.
They could go to his parents' house. Could you contact his parents? You need a liaison that's not him.
Right.
I know. And I asked, I was like, can I just reach out to your parents? And like, he didn't like that idea. Even though like I'm on good terms with his parents. Like we just obviously haven't talked since we broke up because we broke up.
I think if you approach it differently with the person, like you basically need to pay someone to help you. That's what I would do.
TaskRabbit UK, TaskRabbit France.
Preferably a friend or someone who could use like $50 or $100 or something, and just say, be like, hey, listen, you have to. First, is there someone in mind that you think could help you if you gave them money?
Well, what I actually thought of is that there's a bag service company that will go to your house and just pick up the bag. And so that's like what I proposed.
That's
I was
not
like,
as good though, because
here's what I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Natasha. Because what?
Well,
bag service company seems really good.
As long as you, Hannah, can be in constant contact and like making sure that like find out the time that works for him and then find out if that time works for them. And, it's like, I think you have to be very like flexible, and maybe you could give him a choice. You could say, listen, I hired this company. It's expensive. So I need you to help me out with this. And they can either do it blank, blank, or blank. Let him pick. And say like, you're gonna have to meet, or give me your parents' number and I'll arrange it with your parents. But I need this stuff.
Yeah, I think that
you just have to approach it more like a job.
I'm with Natasha. It's time to stop approaching this person as your ex-boyfriend and start approaching him as somebody that has your stuff, and just say, listen, hair. or monsieur or farble blarble.
Oh, maybe he's like a British title.
Sir.
Maybe he's like a
Lord, Dutch.
A lord?
Chamberlain man. Duke. Yeah, something like that. You just say, look.
I could use a Duke.
I don't want any tension. It's just I need that stuff. I know it's an inconvenience for you, but
and I'm paying someone, so this is expensive.
I need to schedule it. So when can we do it? I need like kind of get a little bit more business-like because you need your stuff
and already have the other. So it's like you have like you're like a CEO to get your stuff. You've already arranged it halfway.
And say you've said you don't want me to contact your parents. I don't want to either, but you're also not willing to do. You're not willing to schedule it yourself, so I'm left in a position where because usually when people say my stuff, I go, no one needs more stuff. You don't need stuff. It usually is just an excuse to sit on a porch with a milk crate full of old deodorant and say, can I get you back?
So you could make it easy for him and just think of those two things that you really need.
But it's all in a suitcase. He's just got to grab a suitcase and give it to a courier.
I don't know. He might not know where the suitcase is, though. And this is definitely your zone right now to get it, because that boy's about to go throw that shit away.
He's
next
about
time
to.
He thinks about it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to join some sort of resistance army. Or something like that. I don't know what happens in Europe. I know Western Europe is chaos. I mean, it's terror. It's
I'm
pure
a huge
terror.
fan of lying to get what you need if they're small lies. Like,
what would the lie be?
The lie would be like, hey, I don't know what you do for work, but I would be like, I need those blank and blank. Like, I need it for a project. I need it for a family reunion that's coming up. I don't know. I would like make up something.
I had thought about lying.
What would your lie be?
my lie was going to be that I'm moving. And so like, I'm trying to consolidate all my stuff. Like I have things here, I have things there. And like, I need it all in one place.
I have to tell you, ladies, no offense, both of your lies sound like complete bullshit. Like I would see through that so quickly because you've already been asking for your stuff repeatedly to the point that he's getting annoyed, and then all of a sudden you have this new reason that it has to happen now. He's gonna be like, "Listen, Hannah, I know that I can see right through you. My people are very capable of interrogating the truth," or whatever accent he would have. I just think it's time to be honest and say, listen, I know this is inconvenient for you. But I'm getting frustrated because I know it's not a priority for you. Why would it be? I get it. You getting me my stuff is not the most important thing in your life, but it's important to me. So we have to make a schedule and figure it out because I have to hire somebody. I want my stuff back, please. I know that
I think she should hire the person first.
How do you hire the person first if you don't have a date?
Because she like at least investigates, and so then she comes at him with some like actual information. It's like, Brophy, whatever, the brothers, the moving, rock and roll movers. I don't know, whoever it is,
Sure.
Julie, whoever, this is their info. They're coming to help me. And also I think it's very, very, very important to not have any emotions about your relationship or your past communications in this email, text. And also it's also important to like, look back at your relationship in general and be like, when has the person been most responsive? Like sometimes people like never text you back, but if you call them, they always pick up, or, whatever the communication is where you feel like you've gotten the most feedback or whatever. I think that's important to choose it, email, whatever.
Here's another possibility to think about. He might be withholding your stuff from you because it's his last link to you, and it might be
he just sounds lazy.
It might, you don't know. It might be the milk crate full of deodorant for him. And he's like, if I just keep this, there's still a possibility that Hannah will come back to Luxembourg. Will come back
Why
to
do you care where
Norway?
it is?
Anyway, he might be like it's possible. So that's why I think having a serious conversation where you're like, listen, I need it back. This has gone on long enough, without being attitude-y about it, but just firm boundaries. That I think that would help, because then he'll go, fine, Hannah. You know what? I got to admit it to myself. Here it is. And then you get Jane to come pick it up.
Yeah, just like, use things like this as an opportunity to be the CEO of your life and really, like, as a woman, get what you need, get what you want. Don't let these men dick you around. And, just like stand up for yourself, stand up for your shit, stand up as a woman. Don't have excuses.
Yeah.
Get what you need. Move on.
And final thought, like Jerry Springer, maybe make peace with the fact that what would it be like if you never got this stuff back too? Because it doesn't seem that important. It seems important, but not like,
now's her chance.
I think go for it. Try to get it back. But also at the same time, meditate on the idea that this guy might never give you your shit back. And that is the cost of not having to be in contact with him anymore.
Yeah. No, so true.
Hannah.
Good luck, honey. You can do it.
Yeah.
You're going to get it.
Auf Wiedersehen and au revoir and whatever is the appropriate response here.
One of them was right, Moshe. You're doing great.
Oh, Luxembourg it is. Okay.
Thank you guys so
Farewell.
much.
Okay, good luck. Get it.
Yeah,
Take a
get it.
picture. Send it to us.
Get it, girl.
I'll let you know what happens.
Yeah, we
Okay,
want to see
thank
that
you.
case. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I feel like as a woman, I mean, I don't mean to always make everything about sex, but I'm always like kind of like settling for not confronting people. I'm always kind of settling for second best, settling for...
How do you square that with your incredibly aggressive attitude towards me interpersonally?
Maybe not with you, but I'm just saying in my like personal life.
I am in your personal life.
No, but I'm just saying like maybe in
I feel
my
you.
career or something.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
No,
Like, I'm
standing
just kind
up
of like,
for yourself.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, it's fine.
Right. It's not fine is what you're saying.
Yeah, like get it fixed. Do it,
To the left.
Everything you own.
In a box to the
To
courier.
the post office.
To
my house.
To DHL.
To
To my house. To the DHL. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Everybody needs a little therapy in their life. And sometimes the barrier to entry of just getting in your car and driving to the therapist's office is enough to keep you from getting the help that you need. And that's why I heartily recommend you try Talkspace.
Talkspace lets you send and receive unlimited messages with your dedicated therapist in the Talkspace platform 24/7. With Talkspace, you set goals with your therapist and they hold you accountable and make sure you're really progressing. Therapy can help you shift your perspective, find tools to cope in difficult times, and be a guiding light.
You can sign up online and you can start therapy the same day as you sign up. Natasha mentioned texting, but you can obviously do regular appointments like on video, or you can even send voice messages to your licensed therapist and they'll get back to you with advice. It's incredibly convenient to have those virtual sessions from the comfort of your own home.
And most importantly, Talkspace is secure and private using the latest end-to-end bank-grade encryption technology to store client information and complying with the latest HIPAA regulations.
And it's affordable. Talkspace is just a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy. They've got a huge network of licensed therapists with experience in over 40 different specialties, helping you with things such as depression, anxiety, substance abuse, trauma, anger management, relationship issues, food and eating, and much, much more.
It's not that expensive. You have to do this if you're feeling depressed. It really does help to talk to somebody. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use the code HONEYMOON to get $100 off on your first month and show your support for the show. That's Honeymoon and Talkspace.com.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
I noticed that your teeth are looking sparkly, shiny, white.
Well, that's because of my Bruush.
There's nothing better than a Bruush.
I love my Bruush.
We've tried a lot of different electric toothbrushes, and honestly, Bruush is not only the best one for cleaning for us, it's also the coolest looking one, which is important to us.
Most people only brush for 45 seconds, even though dentists recommend a full 2 minutes for a thorough clean. But the Quad Pacer helps you make the most of these 2 minutes by pausing every 30 seconds to ensure that you clean every part of your mouth. See, I didn't know that. Now that I have my Bruush, I do my little 30 seconds here, 30 seconds down there, and I'm teaching my kid to do the same. She doesn't have a Bruush yet, but I mirror her. I do it with my electric Bruush, and she does it with her regular toothbrush.
Got to get her a baby Bruush. The battery life on the Bruush lasts for 30 days on a full charge, making it perfect for traveling and for keeping your countertop charger cord free. It's slim and sleek, and it makes it easy to throw in your purse or bag on the daily.
And you can get 20% off when you pick your Bruush brush kit and plan when you go to Bruush.com/honeymoon.
There's a 90-day return policy, and they believe in their product so much, and I do too, honestly. We use it every day, that they give you 90 days to test it and try the product, and you won't return it because it really is a kind of a game changer.
And that's 20% off when you go to Bruush.com/honeymoon. These things are so cute. I love my pink Bruush. Moshe loves his black one. The battery life lasts forever. I cannot recommend this enough. Okay, now we're going to call Scout in Arkansas. I'm from the Midwest. That's how you pronounce it.
Arkansas. Okay.
Arkansas.
Scout. I'm excited to see who Scout is. I'm expecting a real beefcake.
Scout, I'm expecting an indie girl.
Okay, let's see. Oh.
I'm right.
Well, I wouldn't say she's indie. We were trying to figure out what a Scout from Arkansas would look like, and we didn't picture you.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You're muted.
Might be dead.
Oh, there you go.
The AirPods might be dead.
Oh, no.
Oh, we good? Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
No, Scout, it's okay. We're surprised you have internet
Okay.
in Arkansas to begin with. It's amazing.
You should be.
It's a little Arkansas joke to start us off. We thought we'd start you off right with a little bit of ignorance from the West Coast.
That's perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Is Scout, were you born a Scout, or is this a given name?
It's my middle name. So my parents were big To Kill a Mockingbird fans.
My best friend, they named their daughter Scout, middle name, because of that book as well. So
interesting.
That's a thing.
When you make a vow, do you say Scout's honor, or?
I mean, if I'm around like dad types, yes,
which I am. That's me. I'm a dad type.
I know.
Make dad type jokes.
Moshe, don't be so thirsty with all the attractive callers.
What? I didn't say she's attractive.
Okay.
But Scout, you're very attractive.
He was like
so
giving his
much.
Burning Man address to the.
No, that was a joke. Scout, how can we help?
I didn't know you could have addresses at Burning Man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can.
It's a whole situation. And listen, if you're coming, there's a you can listen to this episode and you'll find out exactly where I am. Scout, how can we help?
Okay. The main issue that I've been having lately is division of labor between my partner and I.
Oh my God, I didn't want to get into a fight with Moshe today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is like, well, at least yours probably doesn't divulge. So we just, okay. I'm the primary, I would
Cleaner?
say, caregiver of the child. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely that too. And we both work, and his work, I should say, is a lot more physically demanding than mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that to be considered. He used to, like, it's 105 heat index here today, and like wet outside, and he has to work outside in that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I do try to keep that in mind, but just in general, like, also he's never bought her, like, an item of clothing, like, or washed it or anything like that. And so it just feels, I don't know. And okay, so we try to discuss it openly. And I feel like we do a pretty good job communicating for the most part, except for this one argument, which is, as you probably experience, a pretty prevalent one, I think, amongst people with children. And he cooks 95% of the time, and he's a good cook, and it's great, and I love him for it. I watch the child during that time, and that's usually, I should say, the witching hour. I don't know if you guys have that, but and it always comes back to, yeah, but I cook dinner all the time.
And your thought is like, I'm also working during that time. That's what you're thinking?
A little bit, yeah. And my job is not, I would say, terribly hard, but I mean, it's still a job. I still have to sit 8 hours and be somewhere I don't want to be, and I have to put in that persona for 8 hours just like he does. And I don't know, it just feels like I end up taking on all of the household stuff, except for the cooking, which is always the ace in the hole for him. And
at least he's giving back in that way, and he's lucky he's giving back in that way. And like, I know a lot of people don't even do that, but like, we were in couples therapy, and they were talking about like whataboutism, and they're like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? What about this? And you're always trying to like, so he can always be like, well, I do this, and you're like, well, I do this, and then it's like you don't really ever get anywhere,
Yes.
But like, your question is like calling in and being like, I just feel like men have a little more testosterone, or it's just like the nature of it. I don't know. I don't think there's an answer. I think there's a lot of invisible labor that you're just going to have to suck up unless you can like pay someone to help you with it, because men don't do it, won't do it, can't do it, don't care about if things are clean, think they cleaned and it looks like fucking shit. It's like, it's just a constant battle. I mean, I don't really know the answer. I'm currently looking for a therapist to talk about this very issue with Moshe. So it's like, yeah, I think it's just, yeah, sucks.
Have you guys heard of the book called Fair Play?
No.
Okay, so I just heard about it on, of course, TikTok. Unfortunately, that's where I get some of my
I'm not reading
information.
it. She's like,
Oh,
people used to like read the New York Times bestsellers, or
She heard a recommendation on TikTok, so it's a real book. It's not a book on TikTok, right?
I know.
You should. I'm a literary. I was, literary origins. So you should.
Okay, so tell us what it's about.
I haven't read it yet, but apparently my.
Well, how are you going to recommend it? You saw one TikTok.
It was very convincing. I don't know what to say. It was just like anyway. Apparently it's all about this, and I intend to read it, and he does some receptive.
There's no answer. There's
How do you know?
I already know. It's just, you just have to deal with it, and it sucks. There's like a few little things you could do. Like, for example, if you go out of town and leave him alone with the baby, maybe don't give him a list of things to do, and maybe don't make 35 dinners and put him in the freezer for him. Like, let him figure it out. And I think that can help a little bit. So then they will start to like appreciate all the things you do, because I mean, this is like his baby, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, maybe you need to like go out of town and don't leave him a list, and let him see like how much work you do. Like, even when I went out of town, I feel like you really and not only do they see how much work you do, they all of a sudden become better. They become more involved. They become like, they remember the water and the hat and the sunscreen.
You're literally talking about us like we're a pet chimpanzee you have around the house. If you're able to leave,
sometimes it feels that way.
If you're able to leave, sometimes they'll be able to lap their own biology and they'll do something like
No.
pick up a towel.
I guess what I'm suggesting is don't leave a list for them. Don't be like, okay, now here's the lunch, here's what we do. And then maybe they'll surprise you. Moshe started surprising me. He started making the lunch the night before, and like that's something I never thought of, and he'll have it now that's like part of his job. And I actually told him, like, the mornings were such a nightmare for me, and I'm like, I don't know how to do all of this by myself. And then Moshe's idea, or maybe it was my idea, but he took it over, which was to find her outfit every night. So like now Moshe is helping her, and he reminds her when she's brushing her teeth, let's pick out your outfit for tomorrow. And then that makes it so much easier for me in the morning. So finding things, and he's already doing the cooking. That's great. Like, so finding little things that he can help with is also good. I think just like giving them more responsibility to me. I'll be very curious about this book though. I don't know.
It doesn't sound like you're very curious. It sounds like you have what I would call a closed mind about it.
I don't think there's an answer.
But you haven't. There's a whole book on it. This TikTok. Tell us, Scout.
Well, the thing is, he got a new job recently, and he has to, like, he gets up at 4:45 a.m. to go into this job because, again, it's so hot. Yes. And he used to do a lot more in regard, like, he used to make her breakfast in the mornings and make her lunch, which was, again, a huge help for me. I guess I should clarify. I do suck it up for the most part, and it only really bothers me on like PMS weeks, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. The issue is that when I try to talk to him about it, it always just goes to the and the scorekeeping. I generally I don't try to go down that road when we're trying to have a dialogue. I try to keep it as open as possible and figure out, like, from my side of the street what I could do to make things easier on both of us. But it just always goes back to the cooking dinner, and that's like just
okay. I have a Scout.
Hold on one second. Someone's like banging on the door.
Oh, hold on, Scout.
Amazon Prime Day. Did it get you guys?
I think it's our plumber. Actually, we had a whole shit tub situation, Scout.
Oh,
something
dear.
like that a man like your partner might be able to help out around here with. A real man, you know. Man,
he did fix the dryer today, and he's not generally he does pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
Do you mind waiting for just a sec while we take care of this? Set the plumber up, because I have some thoughts. Yeah. What?
I'm like talking to this plumber out here, and he's kind of like keeps smiling at me, and I'm like, what's his deal? And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm wearing like sunglasses and a shower cap and a robe, like 4 in the afternoon. And he kept telling me, he's like, it's gonna be $500. Are you sure you're okay with that? And I'm like, I look like I'm, like you said, I've crawled out of an encampment. But I was like, he's got to take the toilet off. Anyway, great to be here.
All right, let's go. Okay, I have some thoughts. Okay. Here are my thoughts. I disagree.
Yeah, let's let Moshe talk.
Yeah, well, I have been silent for a long time, as you have bashed my entire sex and talked to us as if we are incapable of change. But here is what I think. I think, first of all, do you have this conversation with your partner when you are frustrated about the labor disparity?
So no, I'm pretty mindful of when we try to communicate.
So
these things. Like,
you'll schedule.
If I'm pissed, I will. I'll schedule it. He makes fun of me.
But it still goes back to the dinner thing.
Every time.
Okay, so first of all, I think you should have another conversation with him where you say at the top of the conversation, "Don't bring up dinner. Could you do me a favor?" And let's leave dinner out of this, because...
And he's like, well, then you don't bring up lunches, and then you don't bring up blah, blah.
That is a crazy spot-on impression of a man. That's insane. So
my husband, yeah.
I would say, of everyone's husband, I would say don't bring up dinner, because the truth is I'm watching the kid when you are making dinner, so that doesn't feel like an equitable solution.
But who are we kidding? Can't you put TV on?
So just that's the witching hour problem. Like, by the end of the day, she's just like, watch me do this 3-inch jump for an hour and a half.
Our daughter's like that too.
Okay. So here's the other thing. I think this whole thing where you say you don't like scorekeeping, but that's exactly what you're doing. You've got a whole
internally
spreadsheet.
Though I never start it. I just want to make
you
that clear.
Never bring up the fact that you do this, he does that.
I never go there first. So I make it like so. So sure. if he goes to dinner, I'm like, well, if you want to go to dinner, let me just name off these things.
Okay.
So
all I'm saying is what you mentioned. I think this is what men like. Men like oral sex. No, what you mentioned was things he used to do that helped you. I feel like rather than say you don't do enough things, saying if you could just do X, X, and X, right? This would help me a great deal. He would be excited at the prospect. Find like 3 or 4.
Hold on, let me write that down because I need to have a talk with you later.
Yeah, find
X, X, and X. So like increase his amount of stuff he's doing.
Yeah. I'm saying like exactly like the outfit thing.
Right. That did help me a lot. Because you know what it helps me? It helps me that he remembers. That Moshe remembers and that he follows through with it. Because I already forgot that I said that. I already forgot. And then like, you know, I don't want to be like, hey, can you get her outfit? Because I already have 5 other things I'm telling him, hey, could you?
So maybe this new schedule prevents him from making the lunches and the breakfast, right? Is that right?
Yes.
So finding 2 things that would be equally as helpful as the breakfast and lunches were, but that would work within his schedule, and giving him saying, do you think, rather than you don't do enough, saying, do you think you could do this and this? It would really make me feel good and really help me a lot. I have a feeling that your man, caveman though he be, troglodyte, chimpanzee, simian, ape creature,
Y chromosome.
Y chromosome, unable to evolve past his guttural instincts of pounding on his chest and saying, we have more upper body strength, I make dinner, I'll be your baby tonight.
And masturbating.
Just giving those 2 a couple of things, I bet he would be kind of like excited to do it. I know that for me, when I'm able to be given, when I'm given like you don't do enough energy, I get frustrated because I think, well, what about the things you don't do that I do around the house? I do these things and you never do anything like that. You can't log into your fucking Netflix account. Literally, if I had a gun to your head and I said your life depends on finding your
That's
Netflix,
your job in the relationship.
That's my job in the relationship, right? So the idea that this is just from a male perspective. The idea that there's an inherent truth to the fact that that you're doing all the hard stuff and my stuff is the easy stuff is frustrating. Whether it's fair, it might be fair. You might be right. You might be correct about it. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm just saying, no matter what, when the terms are set as I do all the hard stuff and you don't, it's immediately brings up defensive-ness. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I have a new title for a book that I want to release on TikTok.
Please.
It's called Glorious Husband, Heinous Roommate. Do you think I could get a lot of likes?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, if you explain it well, plus,
that's funny.
Heinous, is that the right word?
Helps.
I mean, it's like, but Moshe, your advice, like, I feel like if I said to you, could you not make every room, like Moshe, like packages come and he opens it and just throws all the contents wherever, even in the bathroom, and then we'll open every cabinet and then we'll leave his socks, like before we tape this podcast, I had like 6 hats that I had to clear because he just keeps buying clothes, like 9 pairs of socks. He had LaCroix, like empty LaCroix all the way, and then like a bag of marshmallows because he was here last night. And it's like, if he would just pick up his stuff, I would be happy. I don't need him to like, sew the clothes or whatever, even do dishes. You don't even have to do dishes. Just pick up your stuff. And if I tell Moshe this, he's going to be like, can you pick up your stuff? But what about your stuff?
Why is that not a good argument?
Huh?
When you tell a person, will you pick your stuff up? You're driving me crazy. Your stuff is everywhere. And then I look over and your stuff is there. Why?
Because my stuff usually isn't there. I'm usually like, if my stuff is there, it's because like I'm drying it or I'm cleaning or I'm like, bringing it upstairs in a pile to like help with a child.
Okay,
like I'm always like doing stuff to like help our world. And you're like nutty professor, a genius person, writer, really smart, hot guy who like can't remember anything.
Okay. So you see right now, Scout, that Natasha and I have a fundamentally different perspective on the way we view the disparity in labor. Like
I
I
thought this might happen.
I don't believe that it's as disparate as Natasha does. I would venture a guess that your husband also doesn't believe that it's as disparate as you think it does.
Wait, what does disparate mean?
Like different, like uneven.
Oh, disparate. I see.
Uneven, right?
Okay.
Did I mispronounce the word?
No. I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying like dire because like
No.
to me it's very important because my environment is so important to me. Like it's so
Me too.
important for it to be clean and like cozy and not have like sweat socks and toothpicks and like old marshmallows and like, you know, can't
Right.
find anything and drawers open and a mess, you know, like I don't want to be in a man cave.
So I also have a list of things that you do that I find inadequate.
See, I told you.
No, I'm just saying.
I know. I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm just saying. I also have a list of things that I could rattle off that frustrate me about the way you interact with the things that have to be done in the house. However, bringing all those things up, even though Natasha, you did do that, and it was and that happened, and you did bring them up, and I hope that you
See,
feel.
now we're in a fight. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Scout. Appreciate that.
Again, I thought it could happen.
But
I'm an avid listener.
But that's not, I don't think, helpful in this situation. What is helpful is a positive rather than a negative. Here are the things you don't do. Here are the things that I would love for you to do. And I think doing that, I bet my guess is that if your husband did 3 more things, it would make you feel 7 times happier about the
I bet
labor.
you're right.
So giving him the opportunity, he's just a little boy. He can't help himself. Giving him the opportunity to thrive by giving him attainable things that would help you. I bet, whether it's fair or not, I'm gonna go venture to say it's not fair, but it is
Life.
it's life. So if you gave him 3 things, this would help, this would help, this would help. I bet you he would do it.
But I would also like to say, woman to woman, and Moshe, you don't have to comment on this. But
I will, though.
I do believe, like, I have 2 friends, maybe even more, but they're like always mad. They're always mad because the husbands aren't contributing in the same way, and they're not doing their fair share. And I just like, they always want it to be equal. And I just think like this is probably very controversial for me to say and not very progressive, but I just think in a way you have to suck it up. They're never going to be able to contribute or to clean up or to keep house or to do anything that is like...
Do anything? Just full stop.
For the family as a whole.
Scout mentioned that we can masturbate. We're very good at that. I find time to do it.
I just feel like all my downtime is spent usually with like doing things for the family. Like when I say I need a break, it's usually to like schedule something.
I actually agree with you.
Or to clean something, or to disinfect toys that I haven't gotten a chance to do, or put another load in. Whereas like with Moshe, when he's taking time off, he's like watching Star Trek, he's techno DJing, he's surfing, he's like enjoying life, playing video games, masturbating. He's like really like enjoying life.
You're so right. That women seem to be unable to give themselves a break and find time to do things for themselves. And I agree with you, Natasha. You should take your break time and not apply it to chores. Go for it. I challenge you.
But before I apply my...
don't get done.
Then what?
Hold
on. Then what?
Then it just builds.
Then
the
what?
laundry, it just builds.
Then
it
what?
Builds.
Then what? Then eventually somebody will do it. Take
no,
time.
Moshe, no.
Yes, eventually. Yes,
it
eventually
starts getting bigger and bigger piles.
Yes, and then you'll take the bigger piles and you'll do laundry for those big piles. This is a separate issue. The fact that you cannot divorce yourself from the chores is not. You just got to do it. You have to do it. I believe this so strongly. The reason men do things, this is so reductive because not every man is like this and not every woman is like this, but the reason that I'll talk about myself. The reason I go surfing, the reason I go DJ is because I know that I need breaks that are not connected to labor. Do I then not ever do any labor? I would say no, I do.
No, I asked you to call a company today and you did.
I do things that you are not willing or capable of doing. And you do things that I'm not willing or capable of doing. Now, the question is the amount of things that you do that I'm not willing or capable of doing much greater than the amount of things that I do that you're not willing or capable of doing? I would say I accept that there is an unfair allotment of labor. And within that unfairness, even though there are many things that I do that you will not do, won't do, can't do, I do them all.
You drive all the time.
I do all the driving.
You make dinner.
I do all the cooking. I do all the repairs around the house.
You do anything I ask if I do ask you to do it.
So that's what I'm saying. Whether this is fair or not, I accept that it's not fair, Scout. I still think giving your husband some dangling carrots.
Tangible. Okay.
And you know what? One thing that like our dog Cutie, she needs medicine 3 times a day. So one in the morning, one at like 6 p.m. and then one at midnight. And so like right away I was like, Moshe always likes to stay up late. I'm like, can you just permanently be in charge of this? And he said yes. And it's like it makes my life much easier because I know that I can go to bed at 11 and like he's always going to get that. And he does that. But like that was me pitching for him to just be in charge of it. And I really appreciate that, honey.
Well, all I'm saying, thank you. All I'm saying is you do the 3 things. He starts doing them regularly. Then in about 6 months, Scout, you have another conversation with him. And you say, hey.
Add 3 more things.
Add 3 more things until you feel like you're getting close to an equitable amount of labor. That's what I think.
Can I make one more suggestion that I've started doing that I really like, which is like I've started to tell myself I am not allowed to do housework unless I have earbuds in and I'm like either listening to a podcast or listening to a book on tape or something to like edify myself because I don't want to just be like silently doing chores. Like that's not why I moved to Hollywood.
Oh, let me bring something up with you, Scout. The other day, I ordered a cobweb cleaner for our house because we have a lot of spiders in our yard. I ordered it, and I do all of that. I clean the whole exterior of the house. I do the dusting, right? Because I actually
outside dusting because you think it's fun to like
exactly
do it.
So I got it, and
like
I opened the package. It is like
a 3 power washer because that is
that's the other thing he got because he thinks it's fun, but then he leaves it all like unraveled like in
all right, Natasha. Let me finish my anecdote before you get into your
she started talking about the power washer
grievance list. I got because I have a grievance. I'm about to bring up a grievance, Scout. Okay. I got the cobweb cleaner to clean our house, and then somehow, I don't know if I left it or our kid grabbed it. Maybe I left it. It ended up on the bed, the cobweb cleaner.
After he used it.
Incorrect.
No, it was after.
Incorrect.
I thought it was used.
Incorrect. You're wrong. You assumed the worst, and once again, you were proven incorrect. It was brand new. Hadn't been used.
No one's proved that.
I've proven it by saying incorrect many, many times with greater and greater feeling of authority.
See how fun he is to argue with or have a really chill conversation with it?
Oh, yeah. You've been very chill during this call as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so the dust... she does look like she's chilling.
I look like I pick the seeds out of weed for a living.
No, you look like you got a break from your shift at the cocaine weighing manufacturer where you have to be naked the whole time, like in every movie. They have that like warehouse of naked women who because they don't want to steal the cocaine or like weighing.
Listen, we had a plumbing issue and I couldn't wash my hair.
Anyway. Here we go. So the cobweb cleaner, clean by the way, totally clean, unused, ended up on the bed. Okay. I got a text message from Natasha with a picture of the cobweb cleaner saying, could you not leave this here? Now, there's no universe in which this cobweb cleaner is going to be regularly left on the bed.
But it'll be regularly left somewhere.
She knows that.
But not just the bed, somewhere.
But you didn't ask, could you not leave it out? You said, can you not leave it here? She knows that this is a one-time deal, that this cobweb cleaning head is going to be here. The text message only serves as a scold. So, of course, I'm like, just move it yourself or tell me to grab it. I don't need a text message with a little like finger. I'm not a pupil. I'm a grown up.
Sometimes it's satisfying to send those.
Satisfying,
and then Moshe wrote back, "Pick it up yourself."
All I'm saying is the finger wag, though it may be satisfying in the moment, will not get you what you want. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I think.
Okay, fair point. I agree with Scout. Maybe Scout and I should start a.
Maybe you guys should date.
We have a lot of similarities, and I'm obsessed. Okay, can I fangirl for 5 seconds?
Absolutely.
Natasha. Okay.
Oh no, I thought about me because I've been so browbeaten through this call. I could use somebody to fangirl for me. No, go ahead.
You're in it too.
No, go ahead.
You're in it too. Okay,
take Natasha.
So I also am a green friendly mom, Natasha, and I enjoy to do that.
A what?
as well.
A grain friendly?
You know, no, I said green.
Oh, green friendly. She's talking about.
Oh, you smoke pot while your daughter's like, watch me do my flip.
Yes. Hell yeah, I do. And it makes it so much more tolerable. And my husband does not get to do that, even though he has, that would be fun, obviously. But
as long as you don't have to drive or anything and you're just home and he's there,
I generally feel like when somebody makes me watch a YouTube video that I'm being held hostage, but somebody showed me your high tea one at one point of you guys.
You were wearing a very similar outfit during that, by the way.
I think I looked a little better in that one.
No, she had on like a beautiful blouse. So
beautiful blouse, honey.
Beautiful blouse. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Anyway, I really appreciate it.
Your style is my favorite. So
you're an icon, Natasha.
Thank you.
No one can take that away from you.
I do have a monogrammed robe on and a what would you call it? A shower cap?
I would guess like a silky. Yeah.
It's a kid's shower cap.
Here's what I will say. In closing, Scout, here is your task. Give your husband 3 new tasks to accomplish. And then next time, this is for both of you. This is me. I will mansplain leisure to you. Next time you have a thing to do, every third thing that you have a chore to do something for yourself instead and see what happens. See if the world falls apart. See if the world falls apart.
Okay, it's not that it falls apart, honey, but for me to...
Just do it.
I don't know if you're like me, Scout, but for me to be able to relax, I want a clean room to relax in.
Well...
That's why I had to pick up all your dang
energy.
socks.
How about leave the house? This is your challenge.
That actually helps. Leaving the house helps.
Yes, it does.
This is your challenge. Your lady division of labor smash the patriarchy challenge. Every third time you're going to go take your break by doing laundry, which is not a break, leave the house and go for a walk. Go do something else.
I'll be leaving the house quite a bit, but I guess my family will just get used to it.
Exactly. It's much like Mama Bear in the Berenstain Bears This House is a Mess book did. Nobody would clean the house, and Mama Bear just said one day, I won't clean it either. And then eventually, everybody cleaned the house.
Also, I read this book, Bringing Up Bebe, which I thought was good, but a lot of people don't like it because they think the French way is kind of outdated. But one thing they do say to do to their husbands is like, she like basically has the same attitude that I have, which is that they're like kind of idiots. And so like you just kind of have to treat them like that. But then when they do something that you like, you have to make a really big deal out of it.
Oh my God, this is so condescending.
I swear to God, high praise. If he does, he's like, yes.
And so like her whole chapter is like he brought her a baguette and she's like, oh my God, I love a baguette. And she like French kisses him. So like basically when he makes you dinner, you could try that. You could be like, oh, like just being like a little more grateful.
This is so funny because Natasha,
it's an approach.
You don't take that approach.
I know. I'm thinking I maybe should.
You do not do that.
She knows it's possible.
Exactly.
You miss every time I do something, but
those who can't do teach.
Okay, those who can't do TikTok.
Hey, sometimes.
All right, Scout. Good luck to you.
Okay, good luck and experiment.
Thank you
some
so
things
much.
work. Like I was so excited when Moshe started making her lunch and picking out her outfit. So like that worked. It didn't work when I like sent the text saying don't leave your shit around. So it's like trial and error.
Sure.
Try a bunch of stuff.
There is never a time when talking to your lover like they're a student of yours will get you what you want. It will never happen.
If you do it right.
No, it will never. I'm telling you, it will never happen. When Natasha does something like this to me, can I show you something? It's over.
Oh,
I've
God.
already stopped listening.
Yeah.
So
you can't do that. But
don't cuck out your man.
I also read that resentment is a form of jealousy. Like we're just jealous that you guys feel like it's okay to just play video games for 5 hours or go surfing or whatever.
Yeah,
We're just a
interesting.
little bit jealous that you feel like that's something
jealous
that you
because
can do.
because
I
maybe
just want my house to be clean. Yeah.
Maybe because we gave birth, we have like more of like we feel like this constant drive to always be taking care of the baby and everything that is part of the baby, which is everything, so it's like this constant.
We do have to put up with that.
All I'm saying is you're probably right, but it's also a perspective shift. If you just said to yourself, I deserve to not have to do the chores and the world will not fall apart if they don't get done, I bet your lives will get better.
All right, well.
Find that leisure where you can.
Good luck, Scout.
Scout!
You've
Thank you.
inspired me to make my TikTok book and to talk to Moshe and to give him 3 more things to do.
Gloria's husband, she didn't inspire you. That was my idea.
What?
I inspired you with the idea to give 3 more tasks. That's my idea.
So I gave you midnight medicine.
You didn't give me. I did it. You don't seem to understand. You aren't the mayor of the marriage. You're a partner. You're one of 2. You guys all think you're the headmaster in the house, but it's not.
Mayor of the marriage.
Get lost. Scout's honor. I think you're the best. Bye-bye.
Okay. Later, Gators.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, Moshe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Yeah, you
start
did.
unloading.
You definitely did.
But like, honestly, just picking up your socks alone would be good. But maybe you're not good at picking up. I should just keep picking up your shit, but giving you more tasks. So then if I give you more tasks, I have more time to pick up your shit.
Listen, all I'm saying is that men do invisible labor too.
Right.
It's true. It's
What?
just all of the stuff around the house that you would never do. All of the repairs, all of the home improvement things.
You think every man in every household does all the home improvements? No.
I don't know if every man does it. I know that I do it. And I am not just every man. I'm actually the man. Give us a call, 213-222-8608, and leave us a secret.
Or send us an email at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. And also look us up on Instagram.
And more importantly, if you're a listener to this podcast and we've meant a lot to you over the last few years, become a member of our Patreon. Become a member of our community. There's a hot mixtape about to drop soon.
Moshe has been working so hard on this mixtape.
For $5 a month, we could be yours. Or for more, we'll be even further in your life. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere. And Natasha, despite it all, despite all of the things that I do around the house that you don't notice, I love you.
I love you too.